Introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Way to passing what President Donald Trump calls his big, beautiful bill.
Doug Luzader joins us now on their progress this morning from Capitol Hill. And Doug, a few questions for you this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start out with, for people who aren't aware what's in this spending bill, kind of give us the highlights of what it does include.
Well, I mean, this is a comprehensive piece of legislation. I guess we would start on the tax side of this. This continues the tax cuts that Trump ushered in back in 2017. Those were set to expire at the end of the year, so this would continue those. It would also increase the child tax credit for a period of time. On the spending side of this, this does seek to reduce the amount of money spent on Medicaid without necessarily scaling back benefits for those who continue to qualify. So what we keep hearing is waste, fraud, and abuse, putting in new work requirements as far as Medicaid is concerned. There is a provision in there, just off the top of my head, there is a provision in there to pay for the president's new Golden Dome missile defense system. That's part of it. One of the real unresolved issues, maybe, is what to do about state and local tax deductibility, the so-called the SALT issue. Now, there were some signs that perhaps they had reached an agreement on what to do as far as that's concerned. That's been a real sticking point among Republicans. But there are a lot of, different aspects to this bill. It really does touch on a number of things, but primarily this has to do with continuing the president's tax cuts from 2017.
We know Democrats obviously very much against this, but there are some still Republicans who are not sold on this. We were looking at video. The president was there on Capitol Hill trying to convince maybe some of the holdouts, if you will. What is the sticking point for some of these Republicans who are still not a yes vote?
Well, it depends on the Republican. There are some conservative Republicans who think this doesn't do enough in terms of deficit reduction, fiscal hawks. On the other hand, there are moderate Republicans who are concerned about some of the changes in Medicaid, for instance. So, when you do some things to placate one end of that spectrum, you anger people on the other, and that's been the real issue as far as finding the balance point here. And the other thing has to do with what we just talked about, the SALT deduction, state and local taxes. There are a number of Republicans from high-tax states, New York, California, where this is really an important issue.
You can throw Minnesota in there probably, too.
Introducing the new party.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Enzo. I'm Kamal.
I'm Chris.
I'm Mia.
And tonight on the new party, our first topic of the night, we'll be talking about Donald Trump's big, beautiful spending bill. And then we'll follow up with, is Tory Lane's guilty? And why is the right taking this on as an issue that they're fighting for? And lastly, all of the racist whites' favorite topic, are South Africans, white South Africans, really in a genocide? So we're going to deep dive and break that down tonight because that's the hill that I guess Donald Trump is going to die on. He's setting up his administration for failure. I mean, success. Fighting for this. He's fighting for all the white South Africans being genocided. And we're going to play the clips of when he was very respectful to the president of South Africa. Was he? I don't know. We're going to talk about that. But anyways, first topic of the night, the big beautiful spending bill. It passed early this morning, 215 to 214, barely passing. We're going to break down the spending bill. What's in it? Mia, I know you like to research, so tell us what's in the bill.
Honestly, this would be the one thing that I didn't even look up, girl. I've been busy.
Oh my God, I am disappointed in you.
I'm going to be learning from you guys today. I know, didn't even look it up. Well, I
Oh
thought we
my
were
God.
doing something else. Like this, this is the kind of
I
pivot.
know.
So
It's okay.
I was prepared for the other thing we were supposed to be doing, not this. So
She got
I
the
didn't even look it up.
statistics for
I'm
his
learning from you
first
guys.
county.
Oh man, who researched it?
I know a little bit about
Okay,
it.
go ahead.
Actually,
I'll let all right. I'll let
I
Enzo go
did.
first because he's gonna give the positive, Chris, and then I'll let you go because I know you're gonna be on the attack for it.
no, I'm just gonna learn. I'm gonna learn. We're good. Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Let's get the attack going. But from what I know, from what I've read, main thing that I love in it is the no tax on overtime. Even though it's for only from 2025 to 2028, I'm still cool with that. Hopefully they would renew it after 2028. No tax on Social Security in there. A lot of things for seniors to deduct from Social Security. Their taxes on Social Security, sorry. No tax on tips. That's another great thing that's in there. But I don't like the parameters that they go about with it. Like when I was looking into the like the no tax on overtime, it's like only 20% of your pay can be overtime or whatever, or you don't get that deduction. And I'm hearing conflicting statements that it's going to be no, you'll get it and go right into your into your paycheck at the end of the week or whatever it is, or the other one that I was hearing that it's going to be at the end of the year, it's going to be like a tax deduction. So I need to look into a little bit more on that. Either way, I mean, I'm happy to see something like that. Another big thing that I saw in there was about 200 billion towards the border in some aspect, and 50 billion to build a border wall. I mean, I could care less about the fucking border wall. I mean, Trump's been talking about that forever and said Mexico is going to pay for it, and they never did. It is what it is. But I'm happy to see more funding for the border, more than that we would see from when I last looked at the Langford bill. It's I could actually improve the border significantly. The money for the Golden Dome, as Trump calls it, I think it's a fucking waste. To be honest with you, I don't agree with it at all. What do we need that for?
What the fuck is a Golden Dome?
So you know how Israel has the Iron Dome,
which doesn't work, by the way. We'll get into that.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna need it for when we have all these when Iran gets pissed. You know what's coming. That's why we need it. China, Iran.
No one is going to attack the United States homeland. This is not Modern Warfare 2. We got Russian fighter jets flying over I-95. No one's going to be doing that.
We got a big
enough F-22s to get them before they even come close.
We got a big ocean,
the best
too.
Surveillance.
Yeah,
exactly. There's so many safeguards we have. We got 2 oceans, and then you have just the South. Okay?
Yeah.
Let someone land here. They're not touching us.
Let someone land in Texas. It'd be the worst decision they've ever made, I promise.
Exactly. And then if they get that far, we get the Northeast.
There we go. So we got all the bases covered.
I know. The Northeast, we all are lawful pew-pew owners, to say the least, in my TikTok language.
One thing...
We don't even need permits up here, actually, depending on how far you go.
So I painstakingly printed this out and read it about 3 times already. So I actually won't go because I have sensory overload reading all of this because I do have a formal debate on it Sunday. I'll just I just really want to learn from the conservative side, so I won't do too much pushback. But Enzo, I'm glad we both agree on the Iron Dome missile defense system because I do want to talk about one. Trump actually undervalued the actual cost of it because Raytheon has done evaluation on it 3 times. And I believe the actual dome, right, if you put it across continental America, plus I would imagine he would want to do Hawaii and Alaska.
Definitely.
That would be about upfront capex of about 75 billion, and every single missile. I don't know how many missiles would be in there. It'd be about 40 million per munition, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Israel, people are finding out in Israel that if you fly missiles low enough to the ground, it can actually get through 60% of it. And we already have the superior system, the Terminal High Altitude Missile Defense System, and the Patriot system. We could literally fight a missile war that hundreds of miles away. So I don't know.
I agree with you. I think it's stupid. We tried this back in, I think, between the 60s to the 80s. I think the Reagan administration took it out.
Did really?
the whole Nike defense system.
Yeah.
They still have silos in Florida that are filled with the missiles that they haven't even taken out of the ground yet.
In fact,
we have work then.
Not only is the Patriot and THAAD so good, we're putting AI integrations in there to make them like better. So I don't know why we're using a primitive system. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to knock that part out. I found that interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100% on it. I think it's stupid. It's a waste of money. Like, I get
Kamal,
it. It's an ego thing to call it the Golden Dome too.
Kamal, what you think? Is it going to be good for Black people? What's the Black assessment?
Well, I'll say this, man. Gray will be tickle pink right now because y'all shitting on Donald Trump, and that's I don't usually hear y'all shit on Donald Trump like that. Gray is having a field day right now. He probably clapping his hands like, all right, But first of all, Enzo, I want to ask you something. You said Nike, or you talk about Nike?
Yeah, it was literally like, hold on, let me look it up again. It was called Nike, the Nike Defense System, or something like that.
I didn't know we even tried. That's crazy.
Nike had a defense system. What?
Oh man, they probably had a check mark on each missile.
Project Nike, yeah. Project Nike, the United States Army proposed in May of 45 by Bell Laboratories, a line-of-sight anti-aircraft missile system. And they were all over the United States. I don't know why they called it Nike, but
shit. I thought you were talking about
the shoes. Yeah, that's everybody thinks. Because when I first heard about it, I was like, hold on, what? Like the Jordans, like Nike brand, like Jordans, they made missiles?
Yeah, I was getting hella confused. Yep. I'm like, what the fuck? Damn, but how I feel about it, you feel me? Like, man, I ain't gonna lie, this shit is making me laugh because it sounds like Idiocracy. It sounds like Idiocracy 2. A golden dome? What the fuck is he? A goat? What the?
Hey man, gotta protect against those Africans that are gonna come over here.
Man, they gonna put diamonds in the golden dome? Like, what else are we putting in there? Like,
honestly, if it's gold, that'll drive the valuation up.
Yeah, gold doing good as fuck right now too. You got a point there. But yeah, I just feel like it's kind of like a waste of money. I mean, the tax bill that he's doing, cutting taxes and shit like that, that's pretty cool. You know, I ain't really well versed into the bill itself, you feel me? But yeah, that Golden Dome stuff, and I thought Enzo was talking about Nike. I was like, man, they making Jordan missiles. This some bullshit. You feel me? And they always tell us the government broke, but y'all out there buying. That's like a rapper buying a chain. Let's be real. The same concept.
Like, yeah. Oh man, making it like, what if the missiles all had chains on them too?
Bro, that would be wild.
Since we're talking about the impact on the Black Americans, I'd like to take a first observation once again, right? Reading this, I have too much sensory overload because it is like really long. I can tell they put a lot of thought into this, for better or for worse, right? One of the longer tax bills we've ever had. So one thing that kind of bothered me, it was section 11, 1100.001 page, and that's pages 100 to 150, right? We're seeing a quantitative spread of the actual tax brackets with variable deductions, right? I would have loved to see like a flat line going all the way to 2029, right? So that's going to be listed on all the brackets, pages 100 to 150, right? So if you go to the 10, 12, 22, 24, 32, 35, 37, and larger standard deductions, by the way, they got rid of the standard itemized deductions that average Americans were taking advantage of for good reason, up to $3,000. I did not like that.
What?
So there's that.
Oh, hell no.
That's that. Yeah, and I can give you the page, and we'll go over that in a second. That plays a part into it. But there was actually some of Jerome Powell's former, who was appointed to the Fed by Trump, did a analysis on it. Some of his team, right, through the Joint Committee on taxation. It was actually interesting, right? So what it reads here, right? So I got the bill and then have the analysis. I have way too much going on right now. So it could hurt these households earning less than 30,000 because they face nominal tax increases after year 2 going into 2029, right? Well, yeah, well, those earning page 127, right, earning a million, and once again, I got the analysis right next to me. This is a lot of data, big bill, guys. So those earning like in excess of 1 million could face a 6.4% tax cut with like a total differential of 74 billion. So black households, right? Let's do a little bit of math here. According to the Census Bureau, has a median income of 52,860, compared to the average for the white household, which would be 81,060. So since it just happens that we fall between the middle and left quartile, 50, 25 down to near zero, these actually would put a quantitative detriment for black households leading into 2029. So I found that kind of interesting, and that's what you call it's like a fancy word, bell curves. Bell curve
Well,
distribution. Yeah.
something that the bill had that I do think is going to help black households and all Americans is he's trying to expand on the immigration judges and access to immigration reform. So that's going to help. It's going to help everyone. For me, I think it's going to help immigration because we do need to reform immigration. That was the one good thing I saw in the bill that I personally liked. But that is upsetting about the deduction. So I got to give you that is very disappointing.
Enzo, can you teach me something here, good brother? You said something about the, because I took a note, pages 150 to 200 on the overtime. You said there was something you didn't like in there. There's something that you liked in there. Like I read it.
So I was listening to who the fuck was I listening to? I think it was either CNN or MSNBC, and then they were breaking it down and going over how it's like only 20%. You can only make 20% of your yearly, and of it be overtime for you to get the tax deduction. And then, like I said, there was conflicting ones because I've seen shit on TikTok of people breaking it down all day long too, saying, no, well, it's going to go into effect and you're going to get that money that you're supposed to get on your paycheck or something like that. Okay. And then what they were saying was, well, no, it's going to be deducted from your paycheck, but it's going to be held until the end of the year, like when you do taxes, and it's used as like a tax break or something.
Oh, I got you. Oh, so that's what that means on page 199. Gotcha. Thanks. I didn't, because like, I'll be
I got to
honest,
look into it more myself.
Also, guys, I have all of the quantitative analysis too. I'll put it in the Discord. There's been a lot of conservative economists that's already done like the analysis on all these because this bill is rich. Like I almost fell asleep reading this. Yeah.
So what do the Dems feel about it? Tell me, is the things you're saying what they're angry about, or like what? Because I know it barely passed.
Well, I mean, that's interesting because one, I haven't looked at the Democrat side, so I'm not a Democrat. I'm a Republican, but I'm also a progressive. I personally have been looking at.
How does that work?
It's called
Explain,
I vote for.
Please.
It's called It's actually one sentence. It's actually easy. I vote for policy over party. Right. I mean.
Okay.
Anyway.
Cool.
Yeah. So I haven't looked at anybody's. I haven't even looked. I think the only person I've even seen on the conservative side that had anything to say about it at all that I looked to was Marjorie Taylor Greene. But I haven't looked at either side. I've just been looking at the bills there. Let me analyze it.
She's crazy.
Yeah, but I actually low key got respect for her for one reason. She's the only.
I like her.
She's the only one on the red side that advocates against not taking APAC money. But I'll digress from there.
Yes, her and Thomas Massey.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Booker, I don't appreciate his 25-hour speech because he's over here simping for APAC. But anyway, we could go on to a different part before I get too heated on that.
Hey, I'm proud of you for calling it out. I'm proud. So, Chris, well, I'll ask you that offline. I won't ask you that here because I have so many questions. But anyways, okay, guys. Anything else anyone would like to add?
It's I would say, okay. If we're going to go to, I mean, are you guys okay with the 4.6 trillion over 10 years, considering the amount of revenue that it's projected to bring in probably won't pay back up to 10% of it? Were you guys okay with that? Pages 300 to 315?
No, I No, I think this. I don't particularly like the bill because it adds so much to the debt, and the fact that we can't even pay our bills now, so it doesn't even make sense to give all these tax breaks and essentially give all this money to people that don't freaking need it. Because if you're a billionaire, you don't need a tax break. You make plenty of money. You make more than enough money to survive off the interest alone from the money. Like, some of these people have so much money, they'll never be able to spend it, nor will their children. Will be just living off the interest. So I don't think it's appropriate. I think we need to be moving into an era of austerity, and everything needs to be cut, and we need to make all of the cuts because we need to learn to balance our books. I don't think this bill does that at all whatsoever, and I think this is just going to further compound the debt that we have, which, I mean, they've already downgraded our credit rating through Moody and all sorts of other stuff that's happening because, according to them, allegedly, we have so much debt, which becomes a national security issue because all these foreign countries, all these foreign entities own our debt. And someday they're going to get pissed off enough to call it in. So it becomes a national security issue, which...
It's already, like, there's already enough pressure with the debt because check this out, right? Every transaction, and if you don't understand this, let me know, I'll put a little bit, because I'm a private equity venture capital guy by trade. Every dollar that's transacted, 7 cents of that's being used to go pay off the interest on the massive amount of debts that we have. So it'd be in our best interest to not, add unnecessary debt that we need to. But, that's an opinion, right? Some people think that we'll just keep adding debt and it'll be just fine. But once again, what I'm saying is an opinion. But I don't want it to get to some point in the future. This would be way in the future where 50 cents to the dollar is used to be paying interest back. That would be an insane day to be alive, I'll be honest.
Shit, that sounds like a goddamn college student or somebody that graduated from these universities.
Yeah.
Same concept.
Then, okay, guys. So green credits. Did you guys read that part of the bill?
We didn't read the bill at all.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get that far into it.
To be honest with you, I've been double down on the Diddy stuff.
Hey, man. Hey, Chris, man. I got a nickname for you, brother. I'm gonna call you Data Man, man. You got all the data, bro.
He's on point,
man, bro. Like, you on point with the data, bro.
Honestly, understandably though, it takes a while to read this. So this will be the last part. Then I'm gonna be quiet about it because I can probably yap on for. The green credits, I don't like that because of the AI boom we're having right now. You guys are aware that all these companies are investing in these AI data centers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that doesn't promote American businesses to get like breaks on the capex, because things like the green credits are going to generate electricity for these big data centers 4 times faster than like coal. And I don't think the bill set up necessarily it might hinder globalization, future or innovation. So I got to look more into it. But I mean, the AI boom's not going away, and these data centers take a lot of power. So I don't like the green credits part in there. And coal will not get you there. That's been scientifically proven.
So Chris, I'm ask you, bro, is the green credits, are they gonna help out more companies like probably like Apple and Microsoft that's trying to get these data centers running?
No, actually, it's going to hinder it because there's regulations. So what I don't like is the regulations on the green credits. So I can actually give you like the breakdown. It favors fossil fuel development and gives a little bit less regulation. But here's the thing, pages 850 to 899. But I'm like, why not just incentivize both? Because here's the thing, you're not going to get, unless you want underpowered AI centers, then you'll use them with fossil fuel. Green credits, which by the way, hydrogen 4 times more effective at powering more at generating more electricity faster. AI is not going away. Shit, Grok is over here. Elon Musk is drooling over Grok, and then all these other AI. We have companies right now that are hiring AI agents instead of employees. So, like, literally, AI is not going away.
Wow.
Please do not.
That definitely hurts Americans.
It actually does, yes. But do not hinder. And by the way, these energy companies are American businesses too, like these clean tech companies. So I don't. That's a whole different argument. But I just wanted to give you guys some awareness on that.
Well, without saying what I do, they have been outsourcing a lot of the parts of my job. They've also announced that they're going towards more AI when it comes to reviewing certain things. So yeah, it's scary times, guys. I definitely feel it even at my job. So I can only imagine truck drivers, they're going to have those AI truck, they're saying the self-driving truck. So it's kind of scary, and
I
even
don't think they'll do
Chick-fil-A,
that way soon.
they have a little AI robot dropping off food now.
Oh
I
boy.
saw it.
Them AI trucks, man, I don't trust that though. For them to be
No,
driving them
No.
big rigs and
I
shit
know
like
them big
that.
old semis, right?
Ew.
I don't
That's
trust Teslas. So
that's final.
Me
imagine something
either.
that's like
Well, I mean, it's been
20,000 pounds.
well, I think in this country we have an infrastructure problem anyways. So like our infrastructure when it
Hmm.
comes to the electrical grid isn't set up nor has it been maintained, and is it even sustainable for any of this AI for any booming business. We just don't have it structurally set up for it, and we haven't maintained it, we haven't added, and we haven't updated it either. I mean, I don't know how they think we're going to do X, Y, and Z when we can't do X, Y, and Z. Literally,
Correct.
we literally do
Facts.
not have the infrastructure set up to do X, Y, and Z. And I don't
Nope.
see Apple saying, "Hey, I'll pay for it" as an incentive.
Well, guys, this was a good conversation. I'm going to read the bill. I'm going to definitely read. I'm going to come. When is your debate, Chris, so we can tell people when to come support you?
It's actually so. I have two debate. I thought I had two debates on Sunday, but luckily the guy was nice. We're doing it next Sunday because the debate we're doing this Sunday is the ones about the Africans that need to get the hell out of here. So,
Oh, okay.
and next Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time. I mean, I'm just being honest. Their white genocide is not happening.
Hey, Chris, man, you gonna be labeled a racist, bro. I'm telling you that right now.
I will take that
He
mantle
already
all.
is probably.
I will take that mantle all day
I'm just fucking with you.
because South Africa had an actual apartheid in it, and that was back in the 90s. That is not in 2025. Anyway,
Yeah.
Well, we gonna go to that topic because we're kind of like, because I want to give it a full time. So
Yeah.
we're gonna skip that. We'll talk about Tory Lanez another night. Fuck him. He's in prison. He ain't getting out.
he said he
I
ain't
hate
getting
Anyways,
out.
it now. Everybody's like
I'm
blaming
sorry.
Megan, and it's
Free
like
Tory.
blame the state of California. They're the ones
Blame
that
him
pressed
out.
the
Why you didn't go and testify? You had a chance. But anyways, we'll move on because I'd rather talk about the South African thing because that's really going to affect Americans, right? So a week ago, I told you guys I commented on a Black content creator's post, and I'm gonna retell the story for those that may not know it. Laverne Spicer, the day before, she writes, "Oh, Obama let all these Somalians in. What does that have to do with anything?" Laverne, I like you, but I think you were pivoting and trying to distract Americans because the next following day, those South Africans landed. You see the pivot, right? She's pivoting to distract us to say, oh, Somalians are worse. But in my opinion, these white South Africans are worse. And we're going to break it down tonight why I think they are. Me personally, I think both. I don't want neither here. Let me be honest with you. I'm no offense to the Somalians. I don't want them here. We got enough problems of our own. And I'm saying this as a Gen 1 immigrant child of immigrants, first generation. And I'm saying it. I don't want them here. We have enough problems here. We have homeless veterans. Why are we chartering planes and bringing South Africans here? It was a problem for me when we were doing it for the Haitians. It's a problem for me doing it for the Venezuelans, and I don't want them here either. So for me, how can we sit here and say we're America first, but we're okay? Because why? Whites think in this country, and I'm not going to say they're wrong or right because I don't know. I'm not a white person, but they think in this country they're being outnumbered. That's the number one reason I've heard them say they think they're being outnumbered. We're shipping it in. They're outnumbered. The country's turning brown. Yada yada yada. I'm just giving their perspective. That's fine. You can have that opinion, but then to attack me when I say I'm truly America first, and I'm telling you this is not America first to ship these people here. They need to be shipped to Europe. And you attack me and you say you want to grate me, you want to kill me. I got all sorts of death threats. Stop the cap. I'm a conservative first. I'm a Christian first, actually, and a conservative. And I'm actually more America first and conservative than you guys because you're willing to use our American taxpaying dollars to ship in a few evil whites. And I call them evil because they are racist. They couldn't. They've been in their country for 300 years. They can't assimilate. And now they're getting kicked out. And they're sending the worst of the worst. And we prove that on the show. That's my take on it. I'm going to let everybody speak. But before we start, I'll play a clip and we can give opinion. I want to play this clip of what's really happening. This is a clip that I found. Shouts out to Kelly Corinne. She posted it. And like, yeah, I don't think that there's really like this protest of like of them being killed. They're not being killed. And this is what's really happening to blacks in South Africa. This is the genocide. This is the real genocide, in my opinion, but we can talk about it. So, Chris, I know you do a lot of research. Um, can you start by telling everyone what is really happening in South Africa as far as what's going on with the blacks and the whites there?
Well, yeah, it's a result of, this is going to be a popular word, I guess, for the whole country of Africa, colonization, right? Great Britain, when they were doing their thing, back in the early 30s and 40s, they brought a bunch of Dutch, and I'm going to simplify this because if I list all the laws, it's going to make everybody's head hurt because they did so much damage. A bunch of Dutch and a bunch of French inhabitants over to go pretty much be the government, right? So I'm going to go roll this back to modern day, and there are some things that when President Cyril Ramaphosa came over here, I mean, he told Trump the truth. Trump didn't accept it though. So what Trump's trying to make the claim is that they're on farms and they're just getting essentially unalived. I mean, that's cap. But let's back it up really quick. They take up 7 to 10% of the population, but they have 90% of the wealth and real estate, along with 100% of the political power. Also, going back to the actual farm claim, right? The black inhabitants lives on farms as well, and we have in-depth data about farm attacks since 2003 that shows that per capita the black farmers are still getting attacked more and unalived more, even with 10% of them being in power, right? In fact, the actual numbers for the Afrikaans is that the Smurters, they literally account for less than 1% of the 27,000 annual Smurters nationwide. So something doesn't add up. They're saying G-side, and the UN has a G-side convention of 1948 that's very thorough. They fit 0% of that category. So what I'm trying to figure out is, why are we saying this is a G-side? It does not fit any of the traits of it whatsoever. We have a whole convention for it. Israel violated it twice. The inhabitants in South Africa never even had a hint of it for the Afrikaners once. So there is no statistical evidence that this is actually happening to them.
The real reason, and the White House said it, they said that they are targeting our allies, Israel in particular. They said it. They said they're targeting them. Why? Because South Africa called G-side what's going on in the Middle East. And that is really the crux of this. I hate to say it. That's the motivation, I think, me personally, for Trump. This is Nora Christine's views, not New Party's views. And so, yeah, Enzo, what's your thoughts? I know you've done research after we spoke about it. Do you think there's a G-side there? What do you think?
No, there's no G-side going on in South Africa. As part of the Trump administration bringing these people in, I must preface this. I am not those white people. I do not identify as a white person because of all this going on. I am Italian. Leave me alone. Just because I got this hat doesn't mean
He's
nothing.
delineating. Come on, look, the whites do it too. He's delineating.
Yeah. Delineation.
We do not claim them. We don't want them. I blame Elon Musk for getting in Trump's ear, saying, get his people over here. They do not look like farmers. They look like preppy, white, rich assholes. Sorry for my language, but that's what they look like.
No, they don't. They look like big fat asses. They big as hell.
Oh my God.
They're fat. Diabetes, high blood pressure. That's what we're going to be paying. Medicare, Medicaid. I know all about Social Security. Again, not saying what I do,
So
but I know all
Americans.
about it. Huh?
So maybe they're Americans.
They look like some fat Americans.
That's what I
They ain't
mean.
working no damn farm.
No, I think it's ridiculous. I don't agree with it. Never gonna agree with it. Trump administration, do what you got to do. I don't agree with you. Not standing with you on that. There's plenty of other things I'll stand with you on, but not that. I'm gonna call your ass out. Get it right, Trump. Get Elon out of your ear. Let him do Doge, not all that.
Damn, we done scared another one off.
Chris, come back. We're
Shouts
having
out
fun.
to Gray Mars. He's at a graduation tonight. Shouts out to Skeptic. She got some stuff going on with her family, so keep her in your prayers. But damn, we done scared another one off, man. It's probably the delineating top. I'm just kidding. Kamal, what's your thoughts? What's the Black American perspective on this?
Well, first of all, let me. Bet I can play the sound effects, man. Y'all dropping some gems. I see y'all. You feel me? Them South Afrikaners, if they want to bring that Boer mentality over here, I'm gonna say allegedly you're gonna get your ass whooped. Tell you that right now. Do not bring that type of attitude over here. Second of all, I saw the 50 Afrikaners that they brought over here. They look like Elon Musk cousins, aunts, uncles. You feel me? I just feel like a hookup. Trump is hooking up Elon. Elon was like, y'all know how Elon be talking. Bring over my cousins and my aunts, please. Over, please. That's exactly what it is. Them his cousins, aunts. You feel me? And is it a G side going over there in Africa? Come on, man. We got eyes. We got ears. No. Now, when it comes to the Afrikaners, not the white South Africans, and let's be real, most of them still staying over there. Why would they leave? They
And
For
doing
now,
great.
70,000 applied.
and they have like
that 90% of them own the wealth over there. So why would they leave that? That don't make any sense to me.
And they have laws built in that favors, like, if we thought systemic racism was bad here in the United States, check this shit out, right? So I want you guys in your spare time, because you think I'm reading Wikipedia, but this is actually real life. In South Africa, they have this thing called the Expropriation Act, and it reserves the government's right to seize land for public use, right? Similar to eminent domain laws in other countries, right? And land can be expropriated without compensation of the other side under various circumstances. So let's go ahead and put together what I just said. Who has 100% of the political power in South Africa? Interactive exercise, guys. Who was that?
Whites,
Okay.
right?
So
Because they're the richest. Yeah.
So I'm going to take what she just said and put it in the Expropriation Act. So the government, which is 100%, which they have 100% of the power, reserves the right to take land for no reason without compensation. And you're telling me that there's a genocide? Get out of here. Expropriation Act.
Mia, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I don't think personally this does not reflect the views of the new party, but I think personally it does not feel like a genocide to me. I mean, what's going on in the Middle East absolutely is a genocide. It feels very genocide-like, but what's happening in South Africa does not feel genocide-like.
G-side, girl. G-side.
Sorry, G-side-like. It feels like a group of people are upset at the president, and they don't like maybe how the government may be turning slightly away from them, and they want to come here thinking they'll have a better deal, which, I mean, it stands to reason that they're getting a better deal since they're here, and we brought them over with very much fanfare that I do not think they deserved. My biggest thing is I'm more worried about the exiting of all of these farmers, because then that leaves the land there. Who's going to do that? Because it's not just farming, it's the maintenance of the tractors. It's who's going to, when they leave, there's going to be a vacuum there. Who's going to fill that in is my main concern, because, there's plenty of absolutely normal South Africans that don't deserve to starve. So my main concern is what's going to happen there when, we've seen in other African countries, when the ruling class leave, they take the knowledge, they take everything they can,
the resources.
And they take the resources and they go. I was watching an interesting TED Talk with a professor from a certain country in Africa, and he was saying it's the maintenance part that they haven't gotten down packed, because a lot of people don't realize in agriculture, 90% of that is maintenance of the land. It's not just the fertilizer, it's the tractors, it's the skidders, it's the excavators, it's figuring out that you need diesel. Diesel's expensive. It's more expensive than oil. And then some of that also needs to be mixed, especially if you're running like a two-stroke and whatnot. So it's all of these nuanced things that come with farming or any sort of heavy equipment, that I don't think the general public in South Africa has that kind of education to assimilate into those jobs. So I'm really worried about the people they're starving is my biggest thing. Is I don't think it's appropriate for them to come here. I think if anything, they need to figure out what's going on in their own country. They need to stay and they need to pass on that education. So when they do leave, there's no vacuum and people don't end up starving, because that's really what I'm worried about.
I want to give,
don't deserve that.
I want to give the white perspective because I want to have a balanced conversation. This is Jennings on CNN. Let's see how whites feel, because Enzo's not doing it.
Whether a genocide or not, the facts are white farmers in South Africa have been murdered. A lot of people have tried to cover this up. A lot of people in, I think, media in the United States have tried to cover it up. Obviously, the South African government doesn't want to talk about it, so it was kind of a boss move for Donald Trump to roll that television in there today. And I think even the agriculture minister in the Oval Office confirmed that these people are, in fact, being murdered. So my question is, if it's not a genocide today, how many do we want to let get murdered so that people around here can be satisfied? Okay, now it's a genocide. Let's let a few more. I don't understand. We're talking about 50-something people they were trying to let in, and everybody's losing their mind after we let in 20 million illegal immigrants over the last several years. The president is trying to prevent genocide from happening any further to these people. They are clearly being discriminated against.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Okay, so can I get like fact check aisle 7? Do you guys mind if I share my screen? Because he just said something that was a rug. All right, guys. So we actually have the documented unalivings of farmers since 1990. And some of these years we've only had 16 total. Yeah, let me go ahead and fact check the old buddy over here, because he's saying that farms are getting run over. All right, we're gonna see. We're gonna see about that. All right, so the table I'm about to show you, share. All right, here we go. So within this document here, this is the AFP fact check, but we're gonna go all the way down. They actually already have the peer-reviewed source actually built in. This is the Transvaal. Go all the way down, all the way down. Here we go. That's the moneymaker right here. So Transvaal Agriculture Union is their version of our USDA, right?
Can you make it bigger? Shit kind of small.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. I'm dual streaming as well. I'm trying to make sure. You said it's small?
Hold on. Wait. All right, guys. Is that better now, Kamal?
What I was asking, could he make it on his end, like zoom in a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
One second. Yeah, I got you.
I'm my computer looking at it.
All right.
Better?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay, let me zoom in. Sorry, I got like 2 dual streams going on. Better?
Yep, that's better.
Oh, okay, perfect. So here we go. So he made the claim, right? So the claim that was made by also the Trump administration and from other Republicans are saying that 63 per day. Dog. 1990 from 2023. This is yearly totals, right? 16, 55, 60, 77, 59, 61, 104, right? 119, 71, 70. So with that being said, right, these populations here are also mixed race group. There is Africans and Africans mixed in here. And this isn't like, this is from 1990 all the way to 2025. Total from 1990 to 2025. Less than 2,500 mixed population, not just Africans. So honestly, that's cap, dog. Like, I don't know where they came up with the 63 per day. That is insane.
Well, you know what's crazy is I purposely, ever since this whole thing with like the South Africans coming here, there is a South African content creator on TikTok that is speaking to this, and I purposely follow him just because I want to see what everybody's. I want to read the comments. I want to lurk because I want to know what everybody's talking about. And he is stating, according to him, that the numbers aren't adequate because they don't even keep track of allegedly of the white South Africans or Afrikaners that are being unalived. Of course, all alleged. According to him, they don't even keep track of them appropriately.
Good point. So I'm gonna play the video. We're gonna play a little, talk a little, because it's really long, of Trump with the president of South Africa. Please hit the like button if you're watching. I need everybody to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribing and supporting everyone. So let me play the clip now.
For you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for the president. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be.
Our president will respond to you.
Yeah, let me,
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it. Sure. And we have documentaries, we have news stories. And is Natalie here, somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things. And it has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down and just put this on. It's right behind you. Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yeah. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are. So whatever I want to do, we can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament. Yes, honorable member. Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Yamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Pa, pa.
The man of DA in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They be a terrible.
Okay, pause. What was the intention of this? Listen, some people in the chat thinks it's bomb. I saw all over X. Oh, it's so great what he did. Let me tell you, Trump, you look stupid. You playing a video that I don't even know is real, first of all. It could be like, I don't know, but even if like you're playing propaganda pretty much. Enzo, what's your thoughts? You don't have to agree. Do you think that was the sickest thing he's ever done?
So I just looked into like what the context of the video was. The video primarily featured South African opposition leader Julius Malema singing a controversial song that has been interpreted by some as inciting violence against white farmers. It also included images of long rows with white crosses, which Trump claimed represented the graves of the thousands slain white farmers. Is that true? Absolutely not. The crosses. I mean, but the video itself, just from seeing what it is, I mean, I'm not going to say that's not inciting violence. I'm not going to say that it is. I'm like more on the fence about it because I don't speak South African. I can't interpret what's saying, so I'm just based off going what Perplexity is interpreting it to say to me. So I mean,
fair.
If that's true, if they have an opposition leader saying that they're calling for violence against white farmers, that's absolutely wrong at the end of the day. If that's just a piece of propaganda that, I don't know, let's say Elon paid these fucking people to stand up there and sing these songs about it or whatever, it's absolutely wrong too. But I'm so in the middle on it. Like, I don't think there's a G-side going on in South Africa whatsoever. I don't believe that the mass graves are a real thing, because I mean, who are we to say who's really in those graves, if any at all? Like, let's just be honest about that. They're just white crosses on the ground. How do we even know really what those are? It's literally just a picture in the video. I mean, yeah, if you want to just go full Trump mode and say, "Yep, he's absolutely right. What he did is great." Like, I mean, if the video actually interprets what it's saying it is by him showing that to the president, I don't think that's the worst thing Trump did. I think the whole Zelensky meeting is worse than that, to be honest with you, and I condemn that. I'm being honest. I thought it was
Man,
great,
we
and I thought
setting
it
the
was
bar real
terrible.
low now, y'all.
So let's break this down, but kind of build off of what Enzo just said, right?
Yeah.
So this is very rich, right? We even have people within their own government, Mr. Crispin and Mr. Casaboni, right? So the first part, and I'm gonna put the actual G-side convention on the screen here in just a second, but let me just layer this argument, right? You would have to have institutionalized groups like committing this G-side, and there's no evidence from the government. In fact, going back to the total unalivings, right? Because we have to bring in that whole figure plus the farms, right? So last year, right? Because it was about almost 20,000 recorded between April and December of 2024. So that's just not a year. That's insane. That's probably why they're the smurder capital of the world, right? Only 36 of these smurders just last year, it was about 0.2% were associated with farms or small agricultural properties. And check this out, just 7 of those last year were farmers. So there were people that were living on the property, but they weren't farmers. So take that 36 and then 7. Now we're less of a 1%. So something doesn't add up here. Going on with what Crispin and what Mr. Gazzoni said at Johannesburg, they have searched and searched to see if there's any organized crime groups targeting. So we have that. They don't fit the definition of a G-side. In fact, with your permission, I'd actually like to put the UN G-side convention here, and we can run through the 5 bullets to see if this is actually the case. If that's good with you.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. Just censor yourself on the, no free pee today, because
I
they're
mean,
about to make that hate speech pretty soon.
I thought I was saying I was saying G-side. Is that masking the
Oh
word?
yeah. I'm joking with you, Chris, but this is
Okay.
where we're going right now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, but man, it's okay. I live in Texas. That's all I'm gonna say. So this is something this is the G-side convention from the United Nations that that South Africa would be complicit to, along with the U.S., Israel, Spain, all that other stuff. Put into force 12 January of 1951, so that hasn't changed. Article 2 is where we can really derive, right, where this is happening. Here we go. In the present convention, G-side means any of the following acts committed with intention to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group as such. So, unaliving members of the group, we quite literally cannot use 7 farmers of last year to even make that claim. There was 36 smurders that were associated with farms last year. Only 7% of those were actual farmers. Absolutely not. A is knocked off the board, causing seriously bodily or mental harm to members of the group. So if A is not true, B isn't true by default. C, deliberately inflicting group conditions of life calculated, we'll come back to that in a second, to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. Casaboni, the president, and Mr. Crispin have done lots of investigations. There's no organized unit going out here trying to go hunt down these Africans. C is false. In imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group, there is no evidence of that happening. And if I can give you a parallel example about where that is happening, in the early parts of Gaza, birthing kits were actually not allowed inside of Palestine. That's not me.
Oh, hold up. When you talk to them about that, because I've had them on my show, the other side, they tell you that more kids have been alive than unalived. Is that true? Because that's their biggest argument without speaking too much on it.
Okay, let me close out this last point because this one's cap also. This one doesn't exist. Forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. There's no evidence that they're like stealing these guys off of farms. So we're like 0 for 5 right now. And let me go ahead and stop the screen there. I hope that was easy to understand. Sometimes I suck at breaking things down. So So what was their claim again?
They've come on our show. Mia, were you there? Mia, I think you were there. And they say that the whole argument why it can't be a G-side is because more children have been birthed than people have been unalived. So for every death, a birth was there. More than that.
So that's a little bit of a misleading statistic, and I'm gonna tell you why. Do you know a little bit about the Arab birth rates since they've been documented since the 1940s?
Oh, I know. I just don't debate them. I just let them talk because I feel like in an argument.
Okay,
But
so
you can go.
that's a misleading stat because in the G-side convention, one, there's not a number that's actually associated, right? The other side has been found in the which I believe your South African claim has some merit to it because that's where the first court was actually referenced. So there's no number associated with it. There has to be an intent to decrease the birth rates. They've been found liable of not allowing birthing kits because when the hospitals have no power, so it doesn't matter if the birth rates go up. They have shown the intent to have them go down, and they've admitted it too. So I don't know where they were going with that conversation, but that's a whole different conversation. And I mean, don't make me get messy in the comments because I do that on TikTok. But
I mean, can we take a second to realize that somebody's comeback is, well, people are still being born, so it's not a G-side. Like
Okay.
that's your argument. Like that's wild work.
That's not the only time that actually has been used. So Bosnia was a actual G-side declared by the UN. And the same thing was happening there just because more people there's intent to have them not. So as long as the intent is there, yeah, that's absolutely line D in the G-side clause. That's justified. What?
Well, if that's the case, man, white women in the States is causing the G-side because they out here not getting with white men and them birth rates is looking real low.
Hey,
if that's the definition of a G-side, I'm saying if it's less births coming in.
Is that why they're importing these Afrikaners?
I don't know.
They want that AV.
Yes.
The odds ever greater in their favor.
Yes.
How many
That's
are
why.
there?
Right now it's I would say about less than 100, but 70,000 have applied. But pause. I'm gonna play the rest of the video and we can continue on because it got worse. Oh, go ahead, Kamal.
That song was not about white farmers. That song was about the Boers.
What was it about?
The Boers.
Explain it, please.
The Boers are the motherfuckers that did apartheid and their descendants that is still upholding apartheid in secret. That's what the song was about. It's about getting they ass, not white farmers. The Boers. Yeah, they didn't complete the whole song. They cut it off. They start talking about the Boers.
Yo, that's
what I thought.
Honestly, that's wild, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, that song is about the Boers.
That's why I hate the news.
Hey, Donald Trump smooth with it. He like, look, first of all, I think he blitzed the South African president because South African president hit him on the knee like, hey, bro, you told me you wasn't gonna do this. Donald Trump was like, it's okay. Second, he cut it off before he got to the course, to the hook. They were talking about the board. They were jumping up and down. So I did want to throw that in there because I'm like, they saying it's the white South African farmers. Nah, no.
Well, I feel like what's happening in South Africa is, sometimes karma really comes back at you. I mean, you can't go into a place, completely destabilize it, take over, and not expect some comeuppance to happen. It may take 100 years, it may take 300 years, but eventually karma just comes around. At times, she really be like doing the circle around the block and end up where she needs to be. So, I mean,
I blame Great Britain. I blame Great Britain at the end of the day, but that's me going all the way back, Brendan.
No, you're right. Everything that's happening is their fault. You are a million times right. Yeah. And bingo, Mia. Bingo. All right. I'm going to play it again.
Because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashama and Soli will not be touched. They will be touched. No one. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
Shoot, kill, Yamasa, kill the Biwa, the Bama, the Buba, the Baba.
Here.
Shoot to kill. Come on, sir. Kill the poor, the Baba. Kill the poor, the Baba.
Man, chat, you made Chris run away again? Just
Come on,
kidding, guys.
Chris.
You don't understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter. They freak out. It sounds like a genocidal.
Kamal, you have a video translating this? You can pull up?
I heard what he said. I can sing it for you too. There you go. Kill the poor.
Okay.
Kill the poor. There's a machine gun. It's saying it down here too. They're going to run. Going to shoot it. On the run.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refugee in America.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. But, okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa, that's where.
We need to find out.
Shouts out, guys, to Kelly Corinne. Please go follow her channel. That's one of my buddies.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You know, you to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which was a very nice thing, they also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment in addition to the jet. Go back, you ought to go back to your studio at NBC, because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network, and you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead. Go ahead, talk about that. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter.
I come from a family that points for everything. He reminds me of my grandma. No more out of you.
Oh man, that was rough. That was rough to see. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, Chris, I know Isaiah calling tonight. I want to know how it's a genocide. We doing the show now. I'm not going to take your call tomorrow. You need to call in on the show. Anyways,
yeah, I want to hear that. Honestly, come on, Isaiah.
I do too.
Yeah,
Be the keyboard warrior.
Well, Shout out to Isaiah.
being
If he
you.
calls
I'm
in,
not being
please
you.
be a
I'm
little
sorry.
patient with him.
I'm in vibe
Yeah.
mode.
Well, I mean, guys, do we think there's a genocide after watching that? Well, I didn't play the whole video, but after watching the rest of the video.
Absolutely not.
No. I mean, we've
Listen,
seen there's historical evidence of multiple other places that I would say absolutely have had a genocide going on. You can't be in control and then say someone's coming after you. Like, that is like, I've never seen a genocide where the people that are being taken out are the ones in control. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, that's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed. It's so crazy to me that Afrikaners who are in control of every single thing, and they're in control. They have the majority of the land, the majority of the education, the majority of all of the money, the equity, all of that in that country, and then to turn around and be like, oh yeah, by the way, they're trying to hurt me. But you're in control. So how
And
could somebody hurt you
you would
when
have
you're
to
driving the car?
have like hardcore evidence of systemic, like organized actions against these over time. Like we've only saw like in 1990, there's only 16 farm unalivings. I'll use Bosnia to paint the picture like what organized looks like. So they had a war from 1992 to 1995. And after this war, quite literally, the Serb forces engaged in ethnic cleansing because they did not like the Bosniaks, the Bosnian Muslims, and they made that apparent to the government 17 different times. Srebrenica massacre, they quite literally took out 8,000 in one event. We are not seeing that in South Africa.
Well, Chris, you now a racist, bruh. You about to get called all types of racism.
Oh, what? Yeah. So be racist against the colonizer that called. But we have apartheid deniers though that live in the United States. So
Yeah, that was make
I don't wanna
believe.
hear-
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. They're saying, and then we have evangelical Christians saying that the apartheid was biblically justified. So I don't even want to hear none of
Well,
that.
the same ones that are justifying what's going on in Palestine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Probably.
Damn.
Like when it comes to genocide in Africa, I mean, you could look at the most two recent ones, or three: Sudan, Rwanda, and the DRC. In Rwanda, 800,000 to 1,000,000 were killed. DRC, 60 to 70,000, and then Sudan were over 200,000 were unalived. These are the most recent ones. So, and that's just the continent of Africa. I mean, we're gonna classify 7 people.
And just seven farmers, and they had a mixed population of those farmers. So it could be 3 and 4, 1 and 6. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
And my question is, if they're wealthy, right? These ones that are applying to get out of there, why do they have to have refugee status? They're wealthy. They can
Yeah, they're
get out
getting
by their own
food stamps,
means.
guys, and they're being put up in a hotel. That's the other reason why I don't like it. My number one reason is
not
we're
wealthy.
giving them resources.
Yeah, I agree with you because I was very. You've heard my arguments on the migrants and thousands of one times. I'm not gonna be hypocritical just because
Exactly.
again, I'm not white, so but they're white. I don't agree with them.
Oh my gosh.
I'm prefacing
Delineate.
that very hard.
He's
I will-
spicy white, is what he's trying to tell us.
I will
There's
give you-
seasoning in there.
I will give Enzo credit for this, man. You done talk more about Sudan than Myron the piss games. Done talked
I
Oh
forgot we brought that up.
You done talked about it more than he has ever talked about his own
And
lineage.
hold on, that's still ongoing from 03 to present. It's
Yeah.
still ongoing.
The Sudan war.
Congo.
Yeah, there is a civil war. Hmm.
Yeah, Congo's getting pretty bad too, based on the diming mining campaigns that's been ravaging since 2020. Yeah, we know who's who's steermasting that one.
I
But
was
I'm not
gonna
gonna
say,
get into
but you know who's in control of that, right?
Yeah, Israel. Yeah. They even said it.
Damn it, man. When Gray
Once
was
I
here,
found
you'd
out
have
was
a
going on
heart
there, I
attack.
refused to buy diamonds. Like real
Facts.
diamonds, I will not buy them anymore because I know what's going on there and how they're made.
Me too. I don't want a diamond. Whoever's
Don't agree with
watching, when you propose, no diamonds.
Cubic
Please. I
zirconium.
think something else.
Cubic zirconium instead.
Fake thing. I don't need a real thing. Who's gonna know? Like, if you're looking that closely, you're a hater, bro. Like, I just want real gold or silver. But the you can give me a fake rock. I don't care about that.
They
The
have
fakers are
moissanite ones
better.
that are the same thing, and they're a third of the price.
Right.
And it tests as diamond. It's just a lab-grown diamond. That's it. The only way
Yeah.
you can tell is by getting a UV light, and if it shines red, it's moissanite, and if it shines blue, it's diamond.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the
Only
moissanite.
Moissanite. That shit sound like a poison. But
Kamal's taking
That's
notes
all the
That-
rappers. That's all
for
they
his
have is
girlfriend.
moissanite. Like their iced out watches, all of them moissanite diamonds. None of them are real.
man, god damn. Speaking of not real, man, I watched that whole interview or whatever the hell you want to call it, meeting. I feel
Did I
sorry.
miss a clip?
Huh?
Did I leave a clip out?
No. You played the clip and everything. I feel sorry
Okay.
for South Africa because if that's their president, god damn, man, he didn't know where nothing was at. He just looked like he was just glad to be there. Like, damn, this is a nice place. I didn't know the presidents lived like this. Shit. Man, Donald Trump was like, yeah, you got this right in South Africa. This is there. He's like, give me the damn address. I got to go look this up. I'm like, bro, how is the South African president this unaware of what's going on in South Africa itself? That shit was alarming to me.
I mean, but is it really okay? So I'm going to be a little bit sympathetic here because there's a lot of, since the Africans that are being apparently being G-sided, apparently, right? They have a lot of the lobbying power there, and they have a lot of the political influence, so they can pass propaganda when they want to, and they have certain media laws where they can take things down when they want to. So I'm not going to put too much. He's not an idiot. It's just that he's living within that aggressive hierarchy that at the same time is convincing Americans that they're getting G-sided.
Okay. And I know about the media laws.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them. Yeah.
Well, I feel like, and this is going to sound crazy because obviously there's a lot of like censorship happening in this country everywhere on all sorts of platforms, you know what I mean? All sorts of forums. But I will say we still have some of like the freest speech because I was watching a British content creator and they were explaining how there's like 25 people a day being arrested by like Brits version of the feds going in over like memes
And Germany.
like stuff like that they're saying because now they don't have any sort of ability to have free speech at all whatsoever. Like if one person in the government thinks that what you're saying could potentially incite something or it's not the narrative that they want to set, they're going to arrest you. There's literally 25 people a day they're arresting. Granted, there's millions of people in London alone, but I'm still saying like that is wild to me. I couldn't imagine posting like a stupid meme because I don't like I don't like the prime minister, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 Mia, open up. You're getting 3 haunted and caught.
Damn.
Oh man, Mia, they coming for you. You better have that. You know, like Mia lives on like a plot of land, so she'll have the mines place.
They'll know. Like they ain't coming for me. They don't want to.
I got the soundboard for you, Mia.
I mean, we got registered and unregistered. I mean, they don't want to come in.
No trial, no nothing. They put you in jail, right to jail. No trial, no nothing.
That's gonna be me. That's probably like the FBI agent that listens in on my conversations on the phone. Is probably like,
oh my
straight
God.
to jail, Mia. Straight to jail, girl. We're swerving.
I say it all the time. Like I say it all the time as a joke that like I probably have an FBI agent watching me, right? I say it all the time as a joke. I'm in McDonald's the other day and I just turn around, dude's wearing an FBI Quantico fucking shirt behind me, and I'm like, this is it. I'm getting arrested at McDonald's.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way.
Oh my God.
Hey, but
I was like, it caught up to me finally. The group chat got out.
But I'm not hella surprised.
The signal chat.
The signal chat. Who's the Pete Hegseth here?
Don't even get me started on that guy. As somebody who's in the army, that dude's a disgrace. But
see, I'm biased when it comes to that position because we had Mad Dog Mathis, so nobody's gonna fucking be good in my eyes. But what he did, I agree with you.
MacDog, yeah. So here's the thing, MacDog. Trump messed up the first time because he had to go to Secretary of Defense, the most like decorated. Like I wish we kept him but he was out of there. Yeah, Pete Hegseth needs to put the Jack Daniels down. And here's the thing about Pete Hegseth. Like I was only 1 rank lower than he was. He got out as a major. I got out as a captain. Like that.
You were a captain?
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
thank you for your service. That's awesome.
so like I'm like, bro, I'm not qualified to do that job. What makes you think he is? And he
Well,
couldn't.
you are, and we nominate you. I
Well,
solemnly
Yeah, we
swear.
nominate you.
yeah,
I'll
well,
take you over the drunken enabler Israel any day.
I can tell you what though, I've told 18-year-old privates to not leak stuff on a signal, and they've been able to do it. I mean, I'm just being honest.
I think you better watch out. Well,
I guess we
this was
South
a lot, guys. Well,
It's been a
the
fun
live hasn't been
episode.
taken down yet.
I know, and my TikTok
they
live is
they
still
didn't-
going too.
They didn't flag y'all. Y'all ain't been
They
getting called
haven't
all types
flagged
of
me.
racist and bigots in the
Have
comments.
been called taken down for hate speech against the white Africans. Nope.
Not yet.
Man, they can't take down our shit.
I
if
think
they
it's
don't
because
have-
I'm here. They see the skin complexion. They're like, you know what? We'll let it
Mixed.
slide.
Yeah.
I got everything in me. You can't say I'm racist. I got Jew in me. I got Arab in me. I got African in me. I got European in me. So come on, let's go. Like, I'm everything. I'm everything but Indian and Asian.
Yeah. Meanwhile, people are trying to paint the picture that a bunch of Dutch and British people are getting G-sided.
What I don't get is like what I don't get is like why come here? Why not go back to your own motherland? I mean, like if I was Dutch, I mean, Afrikaans is what derivative of Dutch, anyways. So it's like why not go back
True.
to the Netherlands? Why not go
I
back
said
to
that.
Amsterdam?
I wrote that to them. And when they were coming for me, I said, well, why do we need to take them? Why can't Britain take them? Why can't the Dutch take them? That's who colonized Africa, to have them take them. Why can't the French take them?
Let's be real, man. It's shitty over there. That's why they don't want to go there.
In the Netherlands?
But Kamal, why?
Britain, most
Because
of
they're overran, and I'm
underwater.
sorry, they're overran by immigrants in those countries. And that's what I don't want happening to America. That's the reality.
I get that, but you come to America as an immigrant, you get in the bag. I'm telling you that right now. That's why they coming over here. They getting chipped up.
You know, yeah, I guess Kelly, you're right. They probably don't want them, but like my biggest thing is like they still
Wait,
look the
so-
part. They still all have the blonde hair and blue eyes, and they're all tall. It's like why not go back to your homeland? You fit right in, bro. You guys did not mix with any of the native blood. You guys will assimilate and fit right in. Nobody would ever know that you weren't born there.
I'm
They can't hide that
Probably
accent.
incest at that point, then.
I'm still confused about the Netherlands is looking great right now. Their unemployment's actually at a historic low. Their real GDP growth is steady. In fact, over steady, 1.5. Year-on-year GDP growth and job growth is at a historic high. I didn't. Yeah, and wage growth right now is considered robust, 6% year over year. Yeah, take them back over there. Everything's fine over there. Their inflation's lowering too. I don't get
True.
that. Their government deficit is decreasing by 2%. They can definitely sit their behinds in the Netherlands. Everything's fine over there. Stable is
Right.
considered
That's what I'm
stable and
saying.
moderate. Yeah.
Like, why not? Like that's what I would do. You know what I mean? They all still have the same their like heritage is still intact. They still speak the language. They still have the same last name. I mean, why not just go re-assimilate into a place where everybody looks like you? I would.
Well, no, they ain't giving up the bag. That's why.
That's
America,
That's
we
why,
give
right?
all the
Or-
resources.
or
feel
it's
me?
like
Giving
how-
All those,
Honda
those
when they come
Muslim
over
people
here.
are all over there, and they're getting the bag over there. So it seems
Oh, hi, little bee.
Netherlands has
Hi, little.
something to give. They
Hi,
can't get back
beans.
to their own.
See, like I was gonna say, it's more like how the British exiled everybody from Britain when Australia was started. Like those are just the bad people that they don't want there, and they sent them to South Africa, and that's why they're there.
Maybe.
That's what I could think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And that's why they won't take them back, is what I'm saying. Like they don't want that bloodline or those families back there or whatever. I mean, at this point, they're probably all inbred too, since they mix with the culture.
I mean,
there.
also
there's
there's probably
so many. of them.
Brad.
there's probably also a little bit of
W Enzo.
internal bias considering like they have Cape Town down there, which is the smurder capital of the world. So there's probably a little bit of preconceived bias too. Yeah. Per capita, the most murders out of any town in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's big because I grew up in Baltimore.
We don't want them. Oh yeah, Baltimore's terrible.
You grew up in Baltimore?
Yes, I did.
Shit,
Oh,
I
wow.
just drove through there.
I actually would have been
Easy.
all right, but like if Enzo goes past the Inner Harbor at midnight, he might not come back. So I actually
Nah, I don't think Enzo's Italian, man. Them Italian. They
But
cut through.
listen, I
I don't
know
think
where
so.
I can go and I know where I can't go. And I know Baltimore ain't one of it.
I was about to say Baltimore is not the
I've been
place,
to a
Spencer.
couple Orioles games there, so I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like Enzo has enough discernment to like look around and be like, ah, U-turn, we're doing a Yui, we're going back to 95.
Nope.
Well, guys, we are celebrating our 1 year anniversary. So thank you to Enzo and Mia. I'm going to play a throwback clip and then we will do our closing thoughts. So thank you to everyone for rocking with us tonight. And yeah, what is the clip that I'm going to do? So Enzo, I think this was Enzo's first, one of Enzo's first shows. Let's watch this clip. And he talks about hate speech. It's the perfect night for it.
To the extent that Colombia took last year with the all the anti-Semitic rhetoric and everything that was coming out of there, I thought that was absolutely disgusting. With the person that got arrested, I read into it a little bit myself that they were actually handing out pro-Hamas flyers and paperwork.
Man,
In
Enzo,
my
have you
eyes,
changed since then?
I'm going to look at
I
that
was so
person as if
young,
you're a
so
terrorist
full of
yourself,
life.
regardless of your skin color, whatever it is. They're a known terrorist organization. I think what happened with them in Gaza between Israel is disgusting, and they should be condemned for that. Should not be allowed here. Like there's a difference between free speech and hate speech in my eyes. And
All right, can we talk
Enzo,
about how
man.
my mindset is completely changed since that
That's
fucking
why I
happened,
played
though?
it.
That's why I
That's
was like,
why I
oh my
played it.
god.
Man,
It's because
we've
we've
come a
been,
long way, Enzo. We've
yeah.
come a long
Literally.
way. Also, shouts out to I got a clip from Mia too. We gonna play that another night because I had to throw that in there. I was gonna play Mia's first. Mia was like what our fifth or sixth member. So shout out to Mia. Thank you, Mia. But I had to sneak that one in. It was the perfect timing. I'm sorry. Enzo, because we played your clip, I'm gonna let you say your closing thoughts first.
All right. So everything that I've seen in the big beautiful bill thus far, I am happy with. There's a lot more that I need to look into and see the parameters with everything, and then really make my final conclusion on that bill. What else did we talk about?
South
There's no
Africa.
G side going on in South Africa. I don't care. Keep them. Don't let them in. Trump, do better. Get Elon out of your ear. At this point, I'm really starting to think maybe people are right. When it comes down to this situation, President Melania is governing right now when it comes to South Africa, not President Trump.
Mm. Are
But
you going live tonight?
yes, I am. I will be on Dark Enzo, that the one main account or backup that's somewhat okay.
Man, shouts out to the TT. All right, Kamal. It's great as always. One of our best friends of the show. Tell me your closing thoughts and promote your show too.
All right, shout out to everybody on the panel. You feel me? Thank you for having me on. Shout out to the chat from Kelly to Beans. Hey Beans, I've been watching your show. You be having me fucking dying laughing. God damn. But shout out to the new party. I got the link to the channel in the top of the chat on my side on my channel. So y'all go subscribe. Y'all go check that out. You feel me? The tax bill, I mean, I ain't really versed into what's in it or whatever, but I was very interested that a golden dome is about to be created. So if that motherfucker created, can you put just an IMAX thing or whatever so we can watch some movies, on top on from the dome itself? You feel me? But yeah, it's a waste of money. But when do we not waste money? F it. At least let's get some gold. But also, what is going on in South Africa? You feel me? It's a lot of propaganda. It's a lot of BS. Them white farmers, they're not leaving South Africa. They live in very well over there. They own most of the land, while most of the population is Black South Africans, be like 80% exact, and most of them is in poverty. So this genocide bullshit that's being pushed in our face, it's all bull. And them singing that song, they're talking about the Boers. The Boers are descendants of people of the apartheid, and also people that were a part of the apartheid over there in South Africa. And them descendants been on bullshit. They've been, harassing, still taking over the land of, certain black farmers over there and stuff like that. So, in real talk, let's be real. A lot of them Africans that came over here, they were Elon Musk cousins, aunts, uncles, and shit like that. And some of them was most definitely the rejects that didn't get a chance to shine in South Africa. Why the F would you leave South Africa if you own damn 90% of the wealth and you 100% owning of the politics? Even if you got black African puppets, as we could see with the SA president. I don't care what nobody say, bro. It looked like a puppet up there. You feel me? With that being said, yeah, hope everybody have a good night. King Not Sure, bro, you been cracking me up too, man. That BBL shit that you said earlier, tremendous. God damn.
The big beautiful bill.
Yeah, that was goddamn.
Shout out Keith.
Yeah, guys, go give Kamal a follow. Kamal's show is so fun. Oh my God. That's like one of my favorite podcasts I've ever been on. He's so funny. He's actually my favorite FBA after Kelly. Like, because Kamal and me can relate on a lot of stuff. He doesn't make me feel like a tether, like some FBA.
Hey, long as you don't undermine us, that's all. Then you ain't a tether. The undermining start happening, then keep it at that.
All right, Mia, ladies next. What's up? What's your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts are everybody should have a little bit of discernment. As for what's happening in South Africa, there is no definitive proof that a G-side is happening or it isn't even happening. I mean, there's just no definitive proof either way. At this point in time, everybody should use some discernment. And when it comes to the big, beautiful bill, for the most part, I am not for it. I don't think we should be adding trillions of dollars to our debt. We need to enter in an era of austerity, and I feel like every single program should have massive cuts, and we need to start actually fixing our checkbook and realigning, because the amount of money that we're making versus the amount of money that's going out is something is not right here. So I do like the no tax on tips. I do like, obviously, the overtime, no tax on overtime. However, they work out those parameters. I myself work a lot of overtime, but other than that, I don't like this big, beautiful bill. I don't think we should be putting ourselves into debt any more than we already are.
And everybody go follow Mia if you want to look at a beautiful face giving you conservative views. You should go give her a follow too. So shouts out to Mia. I think Mia was the first girl that joined. Yeah, Mia was the first girl that joined. So shouts out to Mia. Oh, wait, you came before Jenna, right?
Yes,
I don't remember.
I came before Jenna, and then Jenna came, and then Jenna left.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. Anyways, all right, Chris. Thank you for coming. Let everybody know where they could find you and your closing thoughts.
Yeah, we'll start with the closing thoughts first. So yeah, the big beautiful bill, after copious analysis, is the big ugly bill, because that's about the only thing that's going to be good. At the end of this tax plan, it's going to cause degradation to society and increasing what's called the Gini coefficient, measure of income inequality. But I wouldn't expect anything less from President Donald Trump, right? The no tax on tips and no tax on overtime looks alluring and all, until you do the calculations for the distribution of increased taxes to 2029, along with permanent deductions for the average American citizen that were taken away in all these other provisions. Gotta love it. There is no white G side. And yeah, that's cap, and that's just another way to promote whitewashing of America, because the white people in America are worried about being the minority by 2045, and I'm going to stand behind that. Last thing, you can always find me on TikTok. I debate a array of different activities, and I want to promote a debate that I'm hosting that a large amount of big name conservative and liberal creators are coming to watch because they're curious about it. I am hosting a debate between two of TikTok's brightest, Simple Black Theory and a creator named Covey, and they're going to go back and forth on, is communism good for the Black liberation movement or detrimental? I don't know anything about that, but Nora is going to be my timer as well, and there's going to be a lot of blue checkmark people flying around. So the invitation for that is in my bio, and I'm just going to grab some popcorn and watch because I don't know anything about that. So yeah, thanks.
What's the topic, Chris? I know what it is, but I want you to say sorry.
Yeah, so it's so apparently there's been some beef that's trying to get settled here. So apparently the solution to propelling the Black liberation movement is to go to a communist society. And Simple Black Theory, who's one of the best fact checkers on TikTok, thinks otherwise. He thinks that is detrimental to the Black liberation movement. I don't know anything about that, so I'm going to sit back and let two of TikTok's brightest fight it out on my panel while I go eat food and watch it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kamal, you should come watch. Definitely listen.
Yeah, invitations in my bio so you can register, get the notification.
Yeah, I gotta follow you.
Okay.
Another account.
So, yeah, go follow Chris _ Gonzalez at TikTok. Okay, guys, thank you so much for everyone coming. Thank you to the New Party team. Thank you to Gray Mars. Thank you to Vulgar. Thank you to 85 Slim. Thank you to Mia. Thank you to Skeptic. Thank you to Enzo. Am I missing anyone? Brooks. Thank you to Brooks. Thank you to everyone on the New Party team. We greatly appreciate you. We couldn't do this without you. As I said, we are celebrating 1 year, so God bless. Thank you, God. To God be all the glory. Thank you, Jesus. Again, we will be going up to New York, God willing. We'll be safe. We'll be going to watch the Diddy trial on June 2nd and June 3rd. So definitely come support us. Come check us out every day, 12 noon. We are going to be continuously doing updates of the Diddy trial. Hashtag free Diddy. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm on the fence. But in regards to tonight, the closing thoughts, I think I'm the only one that kind of likes the bill. I'm going to tell you why. I think we need to crack down on immigration. I think we need immigration reform. And if the bill tackles that, more judges equals more people getting in, getting processed. Hopefully we can have immigration reform. Now, immigration reform to me does not mean deporting everyone. So I pray that those that need to be deported do, and those that don't, they have justice served and they can remain in this country. Also, in regards to South Africans, we do not have a G-side. The G-side is happening right now in Palestine, and pretty soon it will be against the laws probably to say that. So I'm going to probably take this opportunity to say it one last time. I don't like where we're going in this country with censorship, so I'm going to pray to Jesus that he continues to allow truth and light to continue to come through, because the only way we will continue to have truth and light is by staying strong, staying honest, and also putting Jesus first, because Jesus is the truth and the light. So shouts out to everyone tonight. God bless you. Stay strong. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 noon. Have a good day. And
Introducing the New Party. We live stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.